Hello, you lovely people. Hi, you kindly folk. It's been a while since we last met, our adventures left unwoke. We've got our maps and dice in hand and tales that still provoke. Together we will journey on, our laughter will evoke. Throughout the magic realms we'll go as friendship grows and grows. So hello, you lovely people, and hi, you kindly folk.
Welcome back, travelers, to another chapter in the tale of the Banded Broken. After the chaos of the Luxron Casino, the party sought solace in familiar walls. Songs were sung, wounds were nursed, and laughter echoed through the tavern. But peace as ever was fleeting. I'm your host and your Dungeon Master Kyle, and a recap of the previous session brought to us this time by Ahree.
There was supposed to be a body there. It was supposed to be looking back at me with a vacant expression, and instead it was an empty robe. It was chaos. Tatiana's still downstairs. She found remnants of ichor on a cloak and oddly licked it. But it does taste like decay, like necrotic damage incarnate. She also finds a bullet engraved with the letter L and a special gun, powerful and evil. Ortega giving orders to security to start moving, looking for suspects. The team finds that the Sentinels of Memory are not here. Parrish and Tatiana went upstairs to collect their things and found an illusory room. Parrish remembered that his real room was somewhere lower and used vines to swing him and Tatiana down, finding bolted windows as she shifted into an ethereal plane to move through a wall. Inside, she sees sentinels that are moving around and burning papers. Others have run into Alicia from the consortium. Alicia, the woman in red, speaks to Ortega about what's happened and how the Sentinels of Memory are acting on her orders. Furious that the money is gone and we have technically failed our tasks, she refuses to pay the Banded Broken and threatens to have us arrested. We all plan to meet back at the inn. As we left, I was struck still. I felt gun shook in a way I haven't since the first time I killed a man. And I had to tell Talis that when she put her hand on my gun, she may have saved all of us. She's the only one who would ever be able to stay my anger, and she should never do it again. So honestly, I think I will need her to. At the tavern, Prolix is gone, and Parrish, of course, pours whiskey for us all. Tatty gave me the gun, looking a bit different, but blood-spit irons with 2 barrels instead of 5 is now mine, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. She also gives me the bullet. I know what that L means. Parrish heals. His ability to care for us in the midst of sorrow is never going to stop making me feel better than I should be allowed to feel. Ortega and Tatiana, furious that she's opened herself up, furious that he has tried to save her, furious that he came back and only remembered me, and furious that every time she looks at him and she sees everything that she has had and everything that she has lost. In a quick moment, Ortega remembers Tatiana and a rose, something he hates, and she hates that he doesn't remember. I play a song. I feel myself shooken awake by the feeling of a cloaked figure entering the room, calling me his Garnet. And there's Lafayette offering me 2 questions, and I asked him if he knew how sorry I was. His answer should have told me right off the bat that something has been incredibly wrong with how I've managed to ever know Lafayette. And I asked him what I needed to understand, and I have found that he is an echo of Shaman's Paul. They are one and the same and always have been, and if he ever loved me, he could not say yes. And he called me his Garnet once more, which was too much for me. I picked up the gun, and I killed him. There's a note in his hand. He said something about closure, but I can't read it with tears filling my eyes and gun smoke in the air. And that gun wasn't what I was expecting to speak to me. A voice that is somehow shrill and cold has told me that I am next, and I am afraid, and I am ready.
When the smoke cleared and only silence remained, the weapon cursed with a familiar voice. Ahree now carries whispers at his side. Saigon speaks again. Gather close, friends, because the story continues. Ahree, you are currently listening to this voice as it whispers through the handle of this firearm. You see it darkens. You've never seen it darken before. You've memorized every inch of this gun, but you've never seen it do what it just did. And the voice sounds like it awaits your reply.
You seem to know my truest name, and I don't believe we're acquainted. Who exactly are you? Tell me why I shouldn't put this gun in a fire.
Nocturne, Ahree, the garnet of the sea. You go by many names. However, you're now going to find you will go by another.
Really?
Of course. Shaman's Paul was my champion. Or rather, Lafayette was my champion. Just as your friend Ortega and your Captain Talus. You know exactly who I am because both of them have told you. And you can try to throw this gun away, but you cannot. It is bound to you, and you are bound to me until you die.
Gotta tell you, it's been a long day. I've killed. I don't want to kill anything more today, but I do not like the way you are holding me at gunpoint right now. And let me tell you this, you have a lot of champions. You want me to be a champion? Do you want me to be a captain? Do you want me to be a martyr? What do you want? Because I have seen my friends follow you foolishly, and I have no intention of doing the same.
Ahree,
That's not my name.
all I want from you, Ahree, is to be yourself. If you want to be Nocturne Lavore, absolutely. If you want to be the garnet that the body lying in front of you once knew, of course, you have a right to be. But you see, Ahree is the one who will kill again. And he's going to kill in my name, just as much as Ortega and Talus do.
And what are you offering me?
I'm sure this weapon seems different to you, does it not?
Certainly does.
Well,
I've known these firearms. I've seen them across. You know what you've done to it. Tell me.
do you want to see it grow to its true potential again?
Right now, I have run out of people to kill. This group is the only thing I have. If keeping them safe means it growing, then fine. If hurting them means it growing, I will travel to hell to find you.
Well, you won't find me in hell, but I can gladly bring you to me if you wish to meet in person.
I very much do. When I'm conducting the business of souls, I do it with someone I can look in the eye and not speaking to the hilt of a weapon from the worst soul I've known.
Well, then let us meet. Ahree, go to the door.
So Ahree goes, but Josh is immediately regretting his decision entirely.
So I go to the door, and I'm holding the gun in one hand, and I am holding my gun in the other, and I cock it, and I kick open the door.
As you kick open the door, you find yourself staring at a cottage on a pier in a small island of sorts. It looks like a small island just from where you're standing. You can see kind of where the land is met on the water on both sides. It's quiet. It's eerily quiet. You look up, you see black, and you look out onto the horizon and you see black. You don't see anything. It's a void. It almost as if this little place exists somewhere else. You see a small, kind of like a fireplace light flickering in a window. You see a large, decrepit tree off to your left, and a small path leading from the pier to the cottage.
Guys, I need a cup of juice or something. Oh my god. Okay, so I would like to look closely at the tree. I would like to, I guess I want to be moving forward towards the path, but I want to look at the tree. Do I see anything?
Make an investigation check or survival. This is a tree, so it's nature-esque, or nature check too.
So it's a 16. So with nature, it's just what, +1. So 17.
You see that this tree has such a large trunk that wraps around, and the roots are kind of overgrown. It's a very mangrove-like, and you see the roots jet down into the water. And you also notice that there looks to be, like, at some point the tree was harmed, like a battle had taken place here. It looks like that battle would have been maybe about 50 years ago or so. You can't quite tell, but it looks like the tree has, in a very interesting way, in its decay, it's tried to grow over its wounds. It's grown over these wounds with shadow and kind of like an Icarus tar-like substance. You can put two and two together that this Icarus-like substance seems to have something familiar with what Tatiana had seen and tasted. You're not going to obviously taste it, but...
Oh, tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
All right. I mean, you want to taste it?
No, I really don't want to taste it. No, I would prefer to carry on. Noticing the battle scars of a tree in a void. Only very interesting wars occur in a void. And while I contemplate it, I will walk down the path towards the cottage with my eyes and ears open, highly alert. Are my guns still at my hip? And do I still have the weapon in my hand?
You have the weapon in your hand, but you don't have anything else.
I don't have my guns.
No.
Oh, that's my least favorite thing. I do not slow down, and I proceed towards the cabin with my eyes and ears open.
So as you proceed towards the cabin, you hear a familiar voice, and you pause for a moment, and you start to hear another. Do you open the door?
What voices do I recognize?
You hear the voices of Talus and Ortega.
I put the gun down and I go in.
Talus, you found yourself, after finishing the conversation with Ahree, distraught, and you headed off to bed. You thought about things for a while, and you really wished that you could have a conversation with Saigon. You sat, you paced, you tried opening and closing your door several times, or quickly turning around to take a quick, reaction to see if you could just get something, but nothing came. Ortega, you were sitting at the bar, not able to get drunk. You finally give up because you see Talus wandering around upstairs, opening and closing doors and looking rather odd, but nothing out of the ordinary for you from what you've noticed. You head up the stairs, and as you go to knock on Talus's door, and just as Talus is about to open her door once again, the door opens and you see each other, and in a flash, you find yourselves standing in front of each other in Saigon's cottage. This is one of the first times that you've been brought here, Ortega, and one of the first times that Talus has been brought here inside the cottage. She looks at all of you, She says,
There has been a vestige discovered. It is in possession of your paladin friend Parrish. I appreciate the effort in trying to recover it from him, but I fear that's going to be more difficult than I anticipated. Ortega, you are here because you were going to secure the vestiges for me. And Talus, well, dearest Talus, you know why you're here. Now, what do you two have to say for yourselves in disappointing me once again?
Have patience. That's what I say. Have patience.
You I can forgive. You're still new to this. But Talus, why do you keep hurting me so?
I think Talus is just gonna take a step back and take a deep breath. Could you explain it to me? You said I already know. But you tell me. Why am I here?
You spoiled everything. You let my name come out of your lips when it should not have, especially when Parrish blurted it out. You did nothing to lie. You did nothing to hide it. You let everyone know your big secret with me, and you didn't even bother asking Parrish for the vestiges. You didn't even fight him. You're here because ever since you've been to Ankarel, you have done nothing but disappoint me. Why do you think I had to bring in Ortega?
Could I ask you one question? Who am I to you?
Talus, darling, my sweet, sweet, innocent Talus. You are my oldest friend. You are more than that. You are like a daughter to me. I have helped you, and I have watched you grow. Do you not see me as a maternal figure? Don't lie.
Saigon, I love you more than anyone I have ever known, and I think I always will love you. I'm done. I'm going to go now.
And where do you think you're going to go?
Anywhere I want.
And what do you think, Ortega?
You know what that means, right, Talus? And he's just gonna hold out a hint.
Thank you, Ortega, but I'm okay. I can do this myself.
I just meant you can't leave this room with something you're holding. I'll take that burden for you. Be free.
No, I think I'll hold on to them myself.
Talus, I need you to understand something. You can't just walk away from me because, well, I mean, even if you try, I would already have replaced you. Speaking of which...
and then the door opens and Ahree walks in.
I wondered when you'd get your stranglehold on someone else.
Ortega, I'm breathing just fine. Things have happened that you do not know. Nothing. You can't have a stranglehold on me if I can't even breathe. Now, what am I doing here? What are you doing here? And the voices I heard outside give me pause.
Welcome to her house. And he's just gonna nod over to the figure.
What do I see? What do I... Tell me of this figure. What does Ahree see?
As Ortega moves his head in a nod-in fashion to this figure, you see this black husk towering over with body parts that seem to be too big for their torso. You see an elongated face with piercing eyes, but you don't see flesh, you don't see clothing, you don't see anything. You see shadow, and you see shadowy tendrils loom behind, and kind of a ominous wind blowing from somewhere, but nowhere to be found.
So just great vibes. Great vibes.
Yeah, great vibes.
Yeah. Great vibes. Holy shit. Okay. Ortega's already told B how he feels and already demonstrated how he feels in terms of his allegiance to this space. I look over at Talus. Talus, what do I see when I look at you? May I ask, please?
Talus is standing like perfectly straight, and she's fully shaking and is just taking breaths that she's trying to maintain as even as possible. And you can tell that she's not keeping it together, but she will keep it together no matter what. Her spine will not. She's going to stay.
I move, if I may, having just walked into the room and seeing a tall, dark, creepy monster body horror gong show, and Ortega seeming to be cool with it and welcoming me to her house. I don't want to be in this house, and I didn't ask to be here. I have faced the biggest evil I thought I would ever see, and somehow this evil was driving it seems. So I will walk beside Talus, and I will hold a gun into the air and aim it at Saigon.
Ortega will immediately move in between Ahree and Saigon.
And Talus will put her, immediately, Talus will reach out and put her hand on Ahree's arm.
Children, might I interrupt the reunion for a moment? Ahree, you need to understand that I created that gun. It has no effect on me. Even if you were to fire it, you'd be firing nothing. Go on, give it a shot. I dare you. Try.
Ortega, move. Now.
It's okay, Ortega.
Ortega does nothing but stand sideways.
Does that mean I can get a clear shot at her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have a clear shot. Just I'm going to
shoot her in the. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot her in the face, and I want to get it as close to the back of Ortega's head as I possibly can. If I can nick his ear while I do it, I would like to.
Okay. Yeah. Try.
Shit you not. I just nat 20'd. I shit you not.
It's a shame. It's like the worst time to ever possibly get a natural 20. Not for me, but for you.
Oh, no. So, yeah, I try and shoot her in the face, and I try and hit Ortega's ear while I'm at it.
As you do, as you take your shot, you pull the trigger and you feel the trigger in the round in the chamber fire, and the weapon turns to dust in your hand. As the dust then falls and turns to shadow, and the shadow swirls in towards Saigon. She looks at you, and it manifests in her hand.
It.
I have the ability to grant you all power, and I have the ability to take that power away from each and every single one of you. Talus, I could snap my fingers and you would be nothing. Ortega, same with you. I have brought you back from the brink of death. And Ahree, you think that you slayed your lover. You think that you slayed your worst enemy, but I assure you very much, he was never your worst enemy. He also wasn't your lover, but I digress. You see, Lafayette was indebted to me for as long as he could remember. Similar to Talus, of course.
Ahree just looks heartbreakingly over to Talus. Is it true? Essentially his eyes are asking if it's true. Are you looking at me? Will you look at me?
No.
Will you look at me, please?
Ahree.
Back to Saigon. No, I'm sorry, Saigon's on a burst here.
Ahree, look at me. Stop and think. Nothing you do here matters. Not in this space. She has control over all of us. Whether you want it or not, you have a choice. You either accept it or you fight it. It's not a fight you can win.
It hasn't usually stopped me. And not all of us lie down as fast.
I ain't lying down. I'm choosing to further my own agenda by helping her. That's the deal I made on death's door. I intend to honor it.
Then you should have stayed dead.
That's a discussion for another day. Talus needs a friend right now. She's choosing to walk away. I've offered her the way to do that. She's currently choosing not to accept. which means she's staying in this game, whether she likes it or not.
Listen to the
Now let's
preach.
hear what the hag has to say.
Ortega, please. I am anything but a hag.
Figure of speech.
Before we go further, I feel like it's time to give Talus a little bit of some extra information. Talus, I, as you know, have been in this prison for a long, long time. Our goal was to free me, was it not? So, that goal is still my priority, and now I have the means to do so. But let me give you a little bit of a backstory on my life before here, and maybe you would see some similarities to all of you. I wasn't always like this. I had siblings. I had 4 of them, and we chose the wrong side, whether by mistake or purpose. Honestly, I cannot remember anymore. But I was captured, and I was tortured, not by forces of evil. No, I was captured and tortured by the forces of good, the ones that you called the prime deities, the ones that others worshipped, Avandra, the Wild Mother, and they tortured me. They forced me to create a weapon to grant their champions power over evil. They forced me to seal and betray my family, my brothers and my sisters. I was able to put pieces of myself into many weapons, armor, jewelry, what have you. But mainly, I was known as the sign of war. I betrayed my brothers, and I betrayed my sisters. And what did I get in return? I watched as all of the people that I worshipped were sent away, murdered or slain in battle. And then, when all of the betrayer gods were gone, I thought maybe my penance was due, but no. No, in another act of unseen cruelty, I was sent here to live out the rest of my days. I have been tortured. I have been mutilated, changed, killed. All I've ever wanted was my freedom. I need the items that I was able to pour a little bit of myself into, and I finally have one back. Ahree, those firearms, like I said, I created. I know how to use every weapon, and all I want is freedom. So I will make you one final collective deal. You give me my freedom, and I will let you all go.
I look at Talus. Can I get any read off of her?
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
17. Your call.
When you walked into this space, she was aching.
Yeah.
She has gone deathly still.
As long as I get to kill Nairobi, I'm in.
There are things that matter more to me than your vengeance, Ortega. Having found mine, let me tell you, it's not all it's fucking cracked up to be. Talus, Captain Talus. You walk out of here, I walk out with you. I will walk to wherever you want to go. And I will stay as long as you will have me. Everything about this seems wrong. And you are stronger than the person standing between me and this hag. You are the strongest person I've met. Anyone who makes you feel this way is not a friend of mine. And I'm worried you've forgotten who you are. Captain Talus, I am with you. What do you want to do?
Talus is going to look at Ahree, and this peaceful, content smile going to fall onto her face. Do I see Saigon the way that Ahree sees her, or do I see something else?
It varies from time to time. When she's talking to you innocently, you see her as the person that you've seen her, as the old lady, the Yeah, the decrepit, frail old lady. But whenever she's talking to any of the other people, or whenever she is giving you a command or being menacing, so to speak, you've only ever seen her as the figure.
I would like to walk up to her, and I would like to stand as close to her as I can and wait until she appears to me in that form.
Which one? The
old lady.
Okay. It doesn't take long, but she's picking up what you're putting down. She lets the others see this happen too.
I'm going to reach out and I'm going to take her hand and I'm going to hold it and place my other hand on top of hers in the kindest, softest gesture I can manage. And I'm going to look her in the eyes. Thank you for everything that you have done for me. You cared for me when I had no one else, and I will never forget that. You could snap your fingers and you could make me nothing, and you have threatened to not let me leave if I do not give you your freedom. I am leaving now. Do what you will. I'm going. And I'm going to let go of her hand, and I'm going to turn my back to her, fully turn my back to her, and I'm going to walk out the door of the cottage.
You see, as soon as you tell her the final sentence, a very decrepit smile takes over her face. You've never seen her face, but you see this smile, and she lets you go. And as you turn away, and you walk out the cottage doors, Ortega and Ahree, you see kind of like a shadow get sucked from Talus as her hair turns white, thorny and decrepit, and it begins to start forming over Saigon. And she, in this cloaked old lady, like more so hag form, you see this beauty start to encompass her as she starts to take on features of Talus, but not Talus, like almost as if it was someone else at this point. And she smiles in a way that Talus would smile. And she looks at the both of you. She says,
"Now we have a problem."
You have a problem. Ahree walks out.
Ortega is going to put a hand up in front of Ahree before he passes him. You sure this is what you want? There's no going back, especially after what you just said to me. And he's going to put the hand down and let you walk out.
This is the you that you've become. And if you've moved from being one lapdog to another, then stay. I just thought I knew you better. I walk right out.
Ortega's going to shake his head, look up at Saigon and said, "I thought he was a friend. And he just told me he wished me dead. I aim to fulfill my end of our deal, because that's how deals work. The ability for my vengeance, for your freedom. I don't see why I can't do that with them, but that choice is up to you now. You had 3 vestiges and now you have none. They're not going to give them to me now."
Ortega, I have Talus's beauty, and I also have this.
and you see the Jewel of 3 Prayers hanging on her hand.
And, of course, I have this.
And you see Ahree's new firearm in her hand.
I don't need another. I only needed this and this. And they both gave it to me exactly as I planned. Now, you can have this back.
And she hands you the Jewel of 3 Prayers.
And if you don't like this, I can transform it into anything you like.
She hands it to you. As in the gun form, she hands it to you.
All you need to do is think about what you want the most, and I will create it for you. I have now been given the power that I have needed, and I've been hanging into, holding on to for a while. I just needed them all here at the same time.
Well, they can't get into Kael Morrow without the jewels.
And you think I didn't think of that? Why do you think it has been so important to get to Kael Morrow, Ortega?
I don't know. I don't even know what's there.
That's where I am. And they're gonna open the door for me. You're just gonna let them.
Well then, I guess I'll join them. They just don't know how to know that I chose you.
I think they know that you chose me, and that's okay.
Well, we're both gonna get what we want. You're granting the ability for me to get what I want, and you'll get out. This is still a very profitable arrangement for both of us, but I do enjoy their company, and I don't want to see them hurt. Is that in your end goal?
Ortega, my end goal has only ever just been my freedom. I have no intentions on harming your companions. However, when I leave this prison, I am sure I will be met with hostility from them. However, I promise you this. If you can prevent any hostility, all I need is enough time to get to Islecross. And you don't need to know where that is, but I do, and I know exactly how to get there. I just need a little bit of time as soon as I am free.
Just make this, and he holds up the gun. Look like this, and he holds up his axe. And I'll be set. I don't really care what it does, but I use an axe.
And an axe you shall receive.
If it comes to showing force, and you must, choose Ahree, no Talus.
I don't know between the two of them which one it will be that throws the first punch. I can't make any promises. However, I can say for certain that if it comes to that, they will receive the full force of my great power.
I'll do my best to spare them. As long as you're not throwing the first punch, it's on me after that.
Are you prepared to die for me, Ortega?
It appears that I'm closer to getting you free than getting my vengeance. Once you're free, I've upheld my end of the bargain.
And I will uphold mine. I just need to get to Islecross first.
I understand that, but our deal was for your freedom, not to get you to Islecross.
And my end of the deal is to help you take care of Narebi. I can't do that unless I have something from Islecross. You don't need to get me there. I can get there on my own. Just be patient.
Out of all my friends, I feel like I have the most patience. Hopefully the next time I see you, you're helping me with my end of the bargain. Ortega's going to turn and walk out the door.
Okay. You all find yourselves kind of right back in the same position that you were in moments before you left.
As Talus opens her door into the face of Ortega, he's just going to look down and say, I'm truly happy for you. You made the right decision. And he's just going to turn and head back downstairs to the bar for a drink, unless she has anything she wants to say in return.
Alice is going to watch him go silently, and then she's going to turn and look for Ahree.
Ahree just burst a door down.
Possibly shot a gun about some feelings.
He's there, having recently kicked a door down, hearing the reverberation of it now and realizing that that was probably a bit unnecessary. Opening it would have been fine. Admittedly, his hands were full at the moment. But now, with one less firearm in his hand, I'm assuming I don't have the weapon anymore.
You do not.
I'm assuming that she kept it. That I now have a free hand that should have been used on a doorknob. But instead, there's a kicked door in front of me, and I look to Talus.
I don't think Talus is going to say anything. I think she's just going to walk towards Ahree and wrap him in a hug.
He wraps her back, and they don't say anything. They don't need to. And as the embrace breaks, he holds his forehead against hers for a moment and signals to go downstairs together. But he waits for her.
Ahree, do you look back in the room to see if there's a body?
Oh, yeah, no, wait, what body?
The body.
I'm confused. Oh, yeah. No, like Ahree would have taken a beat to look about for sure. But I really like that scene there.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Maybe it could be after the embrace, he looks back then, because I would have taken stock of the scene for sure. I just want to keep that moment in there, please. So if after the embrace breaks, he looks back into the room assuming he will see upturned feet flat back on the floor of Lafayette. Do I see him?
You see nothing.
I run into the room. I search hard. Something, anything. Is the shell casing there? Did I even pull the trigger?
Nope.
Keep it to myself. I will tell Talus later. But for now, I have killed Lafayette. I have faced an evil demon spirit who has hurt my friends, one of whom stood between me and her. And now I am back, and I do not know which way is up, so I think I'd like to go get a drink.
Okay. Everyone kind of... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I would like to knock on people's doors and just like knock on Tatiana's door and quietly ask her to come downstairs. I'll do the same for Parrish if he's up there or if he's already downstairs.
I'm behind the bar.
Already downstairs. So I'll get Tatiana. And then before I head downstairs, I would love to just see if I can catch a glimpse of my reflection in a mirror.
So as you go into Tatiana's room, you see that the door's actually open. She's not there because it's actually morning at this point.
Oh, God.
And you look in the mirror in Tatiana's room, which she would never use, but you take a look in the mirror and you see this haggard looking woman with a ton of thorns sticking out of her. And you see your skin is no longer this nice, elegant lavender color. It's now pale, and you see that your hands are no longer nice and soft. They're hard and chiseled. You looks like your hair is receded a bit. And you look in the mirror and you quickly notice that your teeth, there's some issues with your teeth even being very yellow and decayed. You look like the hag that killed you when you were young. So the three of you in your own time start to make your way down the stairs. And Parrish, Tatiana, you were already sitting in the bar area. And you see Ortega comes down first, followed by Ahree sometime later, and then Talus.
I'm gonna grab Parrish's just
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's talking to me, and I'm just shut up. I'm just immediate concern draw on my face as I see this haggard woman in Talus walking down the stairs.
I don't think we overserved her that much last night.
I'm gonna kind of motion for her to come sit, Talus, beside me.
Talus will come sit with you.
I'm gonna grab your hand and I'm gonna look at you. I don't know what's happened in the past 12 hours, but when you're ready, I'm here to listen.
Breakfast is already warming in the oven. I'll go get a plate for everyone.
Tatiana, you were right about her.
I don't mean for this to sound condescending, but I know.
Parrish will come back out with plates for everyone. Just scramble hash and bacon rashers. I assume Ahree and Ortega are sitting far apart from one another.
Ahree is not at the table. He's not hungry. He's gone to the hearth with his lute and he is playing quietly, not for others to hear.
I'll still put down a plate in front of everyone who is at the bar or table and bring one over to the hearth.
Parrish, you're the best, man. That's Josh. That's not Ahree, but Parrish, you're the best, man.
Ahree, I don't know what happened last night. I assume we'll all talk about it. Music feeds the soul. I'm glad you're playing. I expect we have some big days ahead of ourselves. Try and eat something too.
Ahree puts down the lute and he eats alone, but he eats. His eyes say thank you, though his voice can't.
Quite honestly, the last 24 hours has been filled with emotional bullshit and baggage. So I say we go and stab something. It'll make you feel better, darling, I promise.
Talus is gonna lean her head on your shoulder. I think that sounds nice.
Oh, it is invigorating.
Now, half of us look worse for the wear for last night's events. Whom are we stabbing? Why? And is there anything that needs to be discussed with the group before then?
Alicia sounds like a wonderful target, if you're asking my opinion.
I can't disagree with that.
Well, I don't know what Ahree or Ortega have to say, but there was sort of a situation last night, and all three of us ended up with Saigon.
Let me guess, she's not overly happy with you.
No, but to be honest, I don't think she ever was.
Talus, are you okay?
No, not really. I mean, you could tell that just by looking at me.
I don't care about that. More than happy to go out and adventure. Right wrongs, slay dragons. But if you need a minute, that's all right.
You both should know. I walked away from her for the first time ever in my life. Ahree declined her offer to him as well. But Ortega, I don't know whose interests he has in mind right now other than his own. But currently, she and him are still somewhat aligned. So
I'm sure he has his reasons, and I'm more than happy to hear them. But I just want to say, I'm incredibly proud of you. And
As am I.
I don't know.
And well, sorry, Parrish.
That's quite all right, Lady Tatiana. I don't know the full scope of what she meant to you, or means. But I can't imagine that was an easy thing.
No.
Do you think it was the right choice?
It's okay if you don't know.
you don't think it matters. In
Good
the
answer.
end, it was a choice, and I made it.
Well, I'm doubly proud of you then.
Thank you.
It was the right choice. I told you once, I'll tell you again. You are now out from under her thumb.
I'm just picturing Ortega like eavesdropping from a table, sort of like not in the conversation, but listening.
I thought we were kind of all at the bar, so I thought I was like right
I
there.
kind of picture him at like the end of the bar.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
Love it.
If anybody has any questions about my loyalty lies with you three. You are my friends. I go where you go. Just because I have an arrangement doesn't mean I can't still be your friends.
Thank you, Ortega.
I don't have a hidden agenda. I have goals that I want to accomplish. And the deal I have helps me get there significantly faster than on my own. Doesn't help that I was at death's door when I made the pact. And I didn't know of anything other than her at the time.
Do you mind if I
But
ask?
having gotten to know you all again, you're good people.
Thank you for putting your trust in us. Would you trust us with what your goal is? We might even be able to help as well.
As far as I'm concerned, you probably have a mutual goal to harm Narevi. I don't know if vengeance is what I seek, but I know for damn sure I'm going to have the ability to uphold it and make that decision.
And are you able to tell us by what means or what promise Saigon has in that?
The deal I struck with her is that she gives me the means, the power to be able to strike Narevi down when I need to, if I choose to. That's her end. Nothing more, nothing less.
What's yours?
Right now, that's not important.
It's important to me.
Right now, Talus needs to know her friends love her.
We do. But it's important to me what your side of the bargain is, because I'm your friend.
My end of the bargain is to help free her from her prison.
What does
And if
that
I
mean?
succeed, she will help me and not bring harm to any of my friends. So
And you
long as they do
believe
not provoke her. Yes, because a pact is a pact.
Sure, we can hold that promise with you. But I don't want to put you in a situation that harms you.
Like I said, Parrish, my concern is not with my own well-being. It's with yours, Tatiana's, and Talus's.
But our concern is with your well-being.
Remove my well-being from your mind. I have a second chance at doing something I should have done a long time ago. Rebuilding kinship with you three.
Thus far.
Yeah, about that. When he says he wishes I'd stayed dead, he's not exactly at the top of my friend list right now.
That must have been very hard to hear.
No, it's easy to hear. I'm not the one that has to deal with the consequences of what I say.
We all have to deal with those consequences.
As long as he stays out of my way and I stay out of his way, we'll be fine.
Well, if...
But I did get his safety in it too if he can keep his hand off his trigger finger.
Do you know by the means in which she is going to attempt to free herself from whatever prison this is?
No. I know it involves these, and he's going to pull out the Jewel of Three Prayers. Beyond that, I don't know.
Are you lying?
Inside check.
Has Ortega given either of you two characters any reason to doubt him, period?
Yes.
14,012 reasons.
I think so.
Can I insight? I want to insight. I'm going to insight. I'm doing it. Yep, nope, I believe you. It's a 12.
21.
Ooh, Parrish don't believe you.
Well, we don't know about that yet.
We don't. Persuasion?
I gotta make a roll myself.
I know.
He's definitely hiding something, but you don't know what he's hiding.
All right. Well, there is something that I wanted to raise with everyone. Last night aside, Rolex has disappeared from the tavern, and we did somewhat take it upon ourselves to ensure his safety, or at least to feed his cat. Might be worth a first lead if we're getting out of the house, so to speak, today.
Yes, please. I want to leave. Talus, you want to go outside?
Yes.
Before we do, you've chosen the name The Bandit Broken. I think it's important for us all to remember that we are not perfect, but we are together, even if there's hurt feelings or betrayed trust.
Oh, speaking of hurt feelings, Ahree.
Yeah.
You might want to get in touch with your niece. Before everything went down at the casino, she thinks we've abandoned her and don't care. So, being as she's your family...
I look over to Talus, and I look back to Lady Tatiana. We did leave her. Sometimes...
Well, I mean, we...
focused on vengeance. We split up. Lady Tatiana, I couldn't tell you which way was up once I saw that man and I started shooting.
No, I know, and I understand that, but I don't know, send her a letter or something. Tell her you still care. She's your fucking niece. And I'd ask Talus to, but I mean...
I honestly think that she's
in the right mind now. Yeah. She's your niece.
We can take off her plate. Let's do that then. I will, before we leave, I will write a letter, 2 copies, and I'll leave one where I hope she's staying in town or have it sent there. I'm not going there myself. I'm staying with the party. And I will send the other one to the Ruby of the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
To say, I've heard Jester speak in my head. Maybe she can do this to Io for me. And then it's just the letter enclosed. At the end of it, it says, I hope I get to see you, Mom.
As you finish writing the letter and you put it in an envelope, the inn is not ill-equipped. It's got stuff for you, stationery and such. And as you seal the letter and you all pack up, getting ready for your journey to the next best thing, you open the door to the tavern, and as you open the door, you see a young elf, like child, like teenage elf, wearing kind of like a pauper's hat and some nice robes. Doesn't look like he's affiliated with any of the prime factions. He is wearing allegiance colors, but he's not. He doesn't have any like signage or epaulets on him to signify any real importance. And he was just about to knock on the inn, and he sees you all, and he goes, I have a letter here for the bringing bacon. Is that you?
We have bacon, yes.
Are you bringing more bacon? I think is the key question. But can I take a look at the letter and just see if this guy is weirdly illiterate and see if it says Bandit Broken?
Yeah, you take the letter and okay, my job is done. And you realize that it says banded broken.
Yeah. I flip him a silver and I walk over to the party with the letter in hand.
Before he leaves, he goes, do you have any mail for me?
Your timing is fortunate. I do.
Okay.
Handy how that works. Love it. Big fan of your work. So yeah, I pass him my letters, and then I also look over to Parrish. I'm assuming that if there was mail to leave this place, you'd probably know about it. Should we pass him more things, or is there anything else that we should give to this to the messenger here?
Sir, I can only carry 2 letters at a time. I only have 2 hands. It's my first day.
Okay, gonna look at the stack of mail and be like, nah, we're good.
Okay, yeah, no, he's poor little tyke. Oh wow. I give him another silver. I put it in his pocket for him because apparently that's going to be problematic for him now. I just look at Parrish. Just can't.
Tell him to spend one of those on a bag. There's great outfitters here.
Listen, if he didn't hear Parrish say it, I'm not going to tell him again.
He's kind of already like stepped backwards, and as he's like stepped backwards, he like trips a little bit. He catches himself and looks around, and you see he's holding 2 letters in his hands, and he struggles, and he puts them one into his hand and pulls out a map and like unrolls the map. And as he realizes where it's addressed to, he goes, "Oh man, that's really far." And he rolls it back up and he just starts walking away.
You know, Ahree, I believe that boy is going to go far. You know, not in this line of work. I believe he's going to be lost in the desert at some point.
No, we just killed that kid. That kid's gonna die. Well, I mean, do we break his spirit or just kind of wish him the best? Do you know what I do? Do you know what I'm gonna do? As he leaves, I am going to strum a chord and give him bardic inspiration to take with him.
Yeah, for the 1 minute. Nice.
He's got a minute of bardic inspiration, and hopefully it'll be enough for him to roll some kind of intelligence thing to find a fucking boat.
2024 rules, I think it lasts longer, and it's if he fails a check.
Oh, okay. Well,
sweet. Maybe it'll be whether or not he dies in a desert.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. That poor kid. Those letters aren't arriving at all.
Do you open the letter that he gave you?
If I'm back with the whole party, yes.
Okay. So you open the letter, and it seems to be a letter from Maester Khime, Khime, addressing the party, asking about the Banded Broken because he was informed that you were going to be making an appearance the previous day at the Omnival Library. And he fears as though his friend Prolex may be in danger, and he wishes to speak. Yada, yada, yada.
Sorry, where did he expect us?
The Omnival, Omnival Library.
Thank you so much for providing spellings. I was not listening, and I'm just going to guess.
Is that here in town? That's within Ankarel?
Yep, it's within the Sigil District.
Okay.
It is also where Prolex told you they were expecting you the next day, and then he's gone. You went and did the silly little casino thing instead.
Yeah, no, changed my whole life. Silly thing. Honestly, Ahree is, despite a full night's sleep, still horrified from the dreams or the experience that he had where there's no Lafayette and freaking Saigon and all this stuff. And I don't want to make a decision right now. So instead, he just tosses the letter to, I think probably Tatiana.
Oh, goodness. Just gonna read it. It seems like our little idiot has gotten himself into trouble, so maybe we should start there.
This place is any. I gotta tell you, I'm thinking it's time to put this city behind us, but as much as I hate him so much, oh my god, it does feel like abandoning him would be a pretty crappy thing to do. Plus, this letter looks pretty serious.
All right, before
doing it for him, we're doing it for his cat.
A nice cat.
Agreed. Before we go, travel snacks. 1 for Talus, one for Ortega. Big lad, you need to eat.
One day Parrish will learn that Ortega doesn't eat food.
Yeah, but this food gives you temporary HP. Give it to somebody.
I haven't decided to eat it yet. Yeah, I mean,
It looks super tasty.
yeah, but for him it probably tastes like ash.
Maybe this one won't.
So,
We'll see.
do you all head off to the Sigil District, to the Omnival Library?
Heck yeah.
Good.
Ortega just follows the party.
That's fine. You head to the Omnival Library, which is nestled deep within the Sigil District. And you see that this building itself is ancient. Its exterior is carved with intricate geometric patterns. Seems almost to shift when glanced at from the corner of one's eye. You see ivy clinging to the stone, weaving through the cracks like the veins of knowledge that pulse through this place. The air grows cooler as you all step inside, and the scent of aged parchment and leather-bound tomes are heavy in the air. Inside, you see towering shelves stretching toward a vaulted ceiling, lined with thousands of tomes, scrolls, forgotten relics. You see arcane lanterns flickering with a soft ethereal glow, casting long, wavering shadows. Every sound, the rustle of parchment, the faint crackle of a turning page feels magnified, as if the library itself listens intently to every whisper. You see, seated behind an ancient oak desk, a thin wisp of blue-gray smoke curls lazily upward from a finely crafted wooden pipe. Its scent earthy and soothing. You recognize this as pipeweed, with a hint of sweet spice. And you see a man humming softly to himself an old celestial hymn whose melody drifts through the library like a comforting breeze. You see his long, pale fingers trace a delicate script of a dusty old tome, and his expression one of quiet fascination. And you see his pipe is sort of resting there gently, and he looks up. The bended broken, I presume. To what do I owe the pleasure? Come, knowledge is best shared over good company.
Parrish will reply back with the next verse of the celestial hymn, a language I speak. And heck, take it a pipe to sesh with this guy.
He looks at all of you and allow me to introduce myself. I'm Maester Kai. And you see now as he looks up, he closes his tome carefully, setting it aside with reverence. You see that Kaim is an aged Aasimar. He had once radiant complexion, is now faded with time, leaving behind a weathered pallor. His gray blonde hair, streaked heavily with white, flows like a silver cascade past his shoulders. Faint glimmers of celestial light occasionally ripple across his skin, like dying embers of a divine origin. His eyes are soft but piercing silver. It carries the weight of centuries, reflecting a lifetime spent preserving forgotten truths. Clad in elegant robes of deep midnight blue and silver trim, there's embroidered with celestial sigils, and he carries himself with an air of timeless wisdom. Something tells me you are seeking answers in regards to Prolix.
I mean, his whereabouts and well-being were something we wanted to ensure.
Yes, he is a good man with an insatiable curiosity, but I fear he's not always treated with the kindness he deserves. And you see his smile wanes. He means well, you know, even when his enthusiasm is overwhelming. He mentioned to me shortly before his disappearance there was a ring.
Parrish will raise his hand with the ring on.
Ah, yes. I believe I recall mention of such an artifact like this. Yes. And he produces a large bound ledger from beneath his desk. It's covered, worn with age. And he flips carefully through the pages, murmuring softly to himself. And his finger tracing the parchment. Here it is. The Maw of Kael Morrow. Yes, he scrolls down. Expedition logs. An expedition log. Interesting. About 2 months ago, there was an expedition led by Professor Limlel West. It was staffed by agents Anbara Flintbreaker and Idris Lornan. They recovered several artifacts. The log mentions a ring. Strangely, the details of what was taken were redacted. Interesting. It also looks here that other expedition logs have shown other such items covered up or missing. Is this indeed the Ring of Red Fury?
Ahree, you were the one who attempted to identify this ring. Did it reveal any name to you?
Is that what killed me, though? I'm trying to remember. I keep getting killed when I identify things.
It may have cursed you.
Yeah. So, did I get the name, or did I just get, slapped in the soul?
He also might still be cursed, by the way.
Yeah, no, well aware. Feeling that vibe each day.
Yeah, no, he, you did get the name of it, yeah.
And, is it the name of it then? Am I aware? So yes.
It is, yes.
Then I nod at Parrish knowingly, more than I knew right there.
Yes, we believe this is the Ring of Red Fury.
It is laced with ruidium. I'm shocked to see that you are currently wearing it. I believe that our friend Prolix, has been framed, and this ring has been planted on him, potentially by the other associates and agents listed here.
Those were the names you mentioned earlier?
Yes. Limel Wist, Anbara Flintbreaker, and Idris Lornan.
For what purpose do you believe they would frame him? Is this a common occurrence?
I wouldn't say it's common, but there has been mention deep long ago that there are double agents, those working for the consortium or the Sentinels of Memory. I suspect they are working against the Legions of Allsight, as you also probably are aware. But they will do whatever it takes to keep Ahn'Qirel safe, whether their methods are righteous or not.
Do any of those names ring a bell to me from any of my underworld connections? Anything ring a bell?
Not really, unfortunately.
Okay, thanks.
He leans back in his chair, and his pipe is smoldering gently. If you ask me, if you wish to uncover the truth, you must return to where it all began, Kael Morrow. The answers lie in the depths, but beware. Secrets long buried wish rarely to be unearthed. I sense a pattern, and I fear one that someone does not wish to be discovered. Missing items of ruidium from Kael Morrow is all meant to stay in the prison below, the Undertemple. We should seal it and forget about it. But if you must know, I can give you access to Kael Morrow, but getting there is going to cause complications. So I would recommend interviewing or interrogating the names I've given you. I feel they may answer some more questions you might have.
We appreciate the head start, and the names are incredibly useful. Thank you, truly. Also, that smells amazing, and I'd like to have a conversation about what's exactly in that pipe later. But first, names, while helpful, are not locations. Can you point me in the right direction? If I need to speak to these people, I would prefer to do so discreetly and not shouting their name up and down the street.
Well, you will find them likely in the Crystal Chateau. They are
Wonderful.
members of the Allegiance of Allsight, after all.
So they claim.
Or so they
Or so they claim. I look to Parrish. I look to Ortega. I look to Talus. I look to Tatiana. If we need to find these people, is there anything else we need to know?
I do have many tomes and countless hours of knowledge I can impart if there's any questions.
May take you up on that. The Cobalt Soul has also welcomed us to some extent. We may be able to rely on them as well if we need to gain access, but buried secrets best forgotten. That does worry me. I do not wish to venture below. We don't need to. If this, and Parrish holds up his hand for the ring again, thumbs it. This is what is being extracted. It may very well best be forgotten, not exploited.
Kelmoro is a city drowned beneath the sands. It is an ancient place, and you're right. It should have remained forgotten. The ruins hold power and danger. But there is more to it than meets the eye. The Undertemple, I suspect, it holds secrets that were never meant to be disturbed. I would tread lightly.
Do you mean by drowned city that we would need some ability to swim or breathe underwater?
That is hard to say. I have not wandered into Kelmoro myself, but
If we were... Go ahead.
there have been reports and logs that there is water beneath the surface. The city itself is buried beneath sand, but further in, there appears to be some aqueous substances, potentially hiding more under the surface.
Perhaps we ought to find some magical means to keep ourselves safe, either by being able to swim faster, breathe water, traverse through sand. But I would like to go into this prepared if we are to venture down there. I don't suppose there's any aid you can give us in that. We have gold.
And knowing smile kind of plays at his lips. I have collected many things over the years, but knowledge, my friends, is the greatest treasure of all. And as for
Couldn't
the
agree
rest,
more.
well, some things are safer kept far from prying hands. I can't give you anything that could be of assistance to you, except the knowledge that I have bestowed upon you.
I guess just confirming what we know of Kermoro. One faction holds the entrance, but all of them have sent explorations down. All of them have different knowledge
No,
and different interests. No?
that is unfortunately not the case. You see, the consortium of the Vermilion Dream is bent on keeping it locked away. They are actively preventing the expeditions from the Allegiance of Allsight. The Allegiance of Allsight have been the only ones that have ventured into the deep dark below.
From your perspective, what have each of the factions in the city done, or what do they aim to do with Kermoro?
Ankarel is a city of wonders and mysteries, but beneath its surface lies a history that many would rather forget. The politics, the factions, they are but pieces in a larger game. Kelmoro, it is a key to that puzzle. They all stand something to gain from that realm. What that is, I unfortunately do not know.
What do you know of the vestiges of divergence? Is there any relationship with this place?
The vestiges. They are ancient relics of gods long past. Their power is both a blessing and a curse. They awaken when the world is in peril, but such power often comes at a price. I have read of them. I personally do not possess any such artifacts. And even if I did, I would not part with them lightly. Now, as for a connection to Kilmoro, it would not be out of the realm of possibility for a connection, as Kilmoro is ancient, just as ancient as the vestiges themselves.
Well then, with the information we have, and with where it seems like we're headed, unfortunately, I cannot believe I'm about to say this out loud. Lady Tatiana, I'm sorry if I get sick. Pardon me. But I think we have to go help Prolex. And it's worth finding out what we can learn by doing it. It's not any sort of altruism. It's really for his cat. I look directly at sorry, what's his name again? Krim?
Kime.
Kime, there it is, Kime. So I look directly at Kime. Honestly, I know you think that people are too mean to him, and that is probably 90% me. But, maybe I can start to make up for it.
Should you find him, be kind. The man's heart is in the right place, even if his feet stumble along the path.
Well, I'm not much of a dancer myself anymore. I think we're all stumbling. And if he's on his own, know for a fact, even when falling, it's better to not be alone. Let's go get him. We'll start by talking with these people. We've got a list. We'll ask around. We know how to do this. We know how to do this well. This is not the first time that we've had to find people to speak to and needed to be cool about it. We should be mindful because, obviously, of what happened at the casino. Some of us were in disguise. Some of us were not. So we will be mindful. We will be careful. And we will go and help Prolex.
Let's not forget what happened at the River District.
Oh, yeah.
No, assassins as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, shit. But really, would it be worth it if it wasn't dangerous, really? Otherwise,
Absolutely.
We're just running errands. And honestly, now, I don't really feel like being scared anymore.
These are errands worth running.
We'll hop to Malu. Let's go, Parrish, Ortega, Captain Talus, Lady Tatiana. I cannot believe it, but I think we're going to go rescue Prolex.
Well then, my friends, make haste. Your journey is just the beginning. And in a old forgotten tome that I read long ago, just remember, not all those who wander are lost. As Saigon's shadow fades, Talus and Ahree walk away, sacrificing power to retain their integrity. Ortega, however, seals his deal in silence. And the next morning, the Banded Broken head to the Omnivore Library, where they meet Kime, a wise old librarian with insights into Kilmoro and Prolix's path. The answers they seek begin to take shape, as they now have their next destination and potential targets to interrogate. I've been your host and your Dungeon Master, Kyle, and thank you to MABMusic for the ambience, and to you travelers for listening. Until next time, stay sharp.